Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This episode is brought to you by The Wellness Paradigm, a holistic health coaching company shifting the way that women understand and heal their bodies. Through bioenergetic testing, functional lab testing, and functional nutrition, we uncover what traditional approaches often overlook, so you can stop guessing and start healing and finally feel like yourself again. No more one-size-fits-all protocols, just real answers, deep-rooted healing, and the clarity and confidence you deserve to feel incredible. It's time to shift the paradigm of women's health. Now, on to our show. I do want to talk about such a great topic and very misconstrued by a lot of people, which is detoxification. And this topic's going to be really about how to kind of detox going into summer. Very hot topic right now for a lot of people because everybody's wanting to, not everybody, but many people want to, lose weight and detox and kind of, look good in the bathing suit going into the warmer weather. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be real with you here, all right? This is not some fancy high-level detoxification talk. We're going to talk about a lot of basics and maybe some few other things because this gets hugely blown out of proportions, all right? So many people think that they need to be doing some crazy detox to see results. And the reality is you really, really need to do a lot more of the basics that you probably aren't doing because that is what is going to help naturally detox your body. Now, I will say some people are on two sides of the spectrum. Some people think, well, you got liver and kidney, you've got lymph system, so your body naturally detoxifies itself, so you don't need to be doing any detox protocols. And while that's true, I do believe there also, for a lot of people, need to actually do more specific detox protocols to help essentially push things through a little bit easier. Many clients have problems with detoxification, so they do need a little assistance. I'm not going to get super nitty gritty into the details of that, I will say, but let's just kind of get rocking and rolling. So first of all, let's get down to some basics because hydration and drinking water. Don't tell me that you're detoxing and doing all the right things and you're not drinking at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day, guys. Like, your body can literally not detox if it doesn't have water and it's not hydrated to push things along, right? You can add in certain things like lemon and mint and cucumber, and that can help, not only help with flavor, but it can help with detoxification. I personally like salt water with a little lemon, especially in the morning. That's a really great healthy detox. If you do have ulcers, guys, or something with like reflux, we might want to lay off the lemon. But that's a really great thing to start first thing in the morning when you're dehydrated from coming off sleeping. Just have a big old glass of water, just to get things moving, right? Secondly, when it comes to your nutrition, you do not need a fancy juice diet. You do not need some fancy detox protocol. What you need is to consistently have your body feel safe and in balance so it can detox properly. And a lot of that's just going to come from your nutritional sources and eating less processed foods, eating less sugar. I'm not saying you have to go on a huge sugar detox for, 30 days where you don't have any ounce of sugar, but, eating more whole foods is going to be really important, especially, as we go into summer here, eating more seasonal fruits and vegetables, having a very colorful plate, definitely making sure that you are having enough fiber in your diet. Fiber helps immensely with your gut microbiome and natural detoxification processes. If you want to naturally detox, you have to be having enough fiber. And some people are a little sensitive to fiber versus others, but you just have your fiber. Yeah, aim for about 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day, ideally from whole food sources, but my favorite supplement is psyllium husk. This I tend to put just a teaspoon in my morning smoothie, and that helps. But other foods are really helpful, like cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts, ginger root, celery juice. Don't overdo it with the celery juice, guys. Grapefruits, nuts, seeds, particularly chia seeds, beets are fantastic. Dandelion greens is another really great detoxification food. But definitely sticking to, as I mentioned, just a colorful plate. A balanced plate, balancing your blood sugar, having enough protein, not so much carbohydrates, healthy fats. Everything I talk about on this page like a billion times is going to naturally aid your body into detoxification. As far as movement goes, movement can help move that lymphatic system. Obviously, don't overdo it, right? Like if you've been around enough, you hear me talk about cortisol and things like that. But like, just learning to move your body. Sweating is fantastic to get your body to detox. Some of you guys might not be huge sweaters. I know for me, it takes a little while to break a sweat. I will say, if you do not sweat, that is also a sign that you probably need help with detoxification. But my favorite ways are the sauna. I have an infrared sauna personally. Walking, biking, exercising. You can also do some, dry brushing. I love dry brushing. This is something I incorporate for a lot of our clients. It's very simple. You can YouTube how to dry brush. You just literally take a dry, exfoliation loofah brush and move it in a specific way on your body to help just kind of move that lymph system a little bit more. And it's very powerful, and it's so simple, and it will cost you like $10 one time. So that's a really great thing to check out. Just swallowed my own spit. I'm fine. When it comes to detoxing, you do want to look at gut health. You want to look at your mind. You want to look at your body. Mindful eating is something that's really, really underrated for detoxification. Because when you are power eating, and you're stressed out, and you're just downing food, and you're not actually being mindful of your eating, one, you're going to override a lot of your hunger cues. Your cortisol is going to be higher, so you're probably going to crave more food. But secondly, you're not going to be able to digest your food well. So when your body doesn't break down food properly, that could also create issues with too much food, overeating, bloating, things like that. And that can actually slow just your natural detoxification pathways down in kind of, a non-direct way. So just being mindful, slow down your eating. Try to give your body and brain time to digest your food before going back and eating a little bit more. It takes a while for your brain to realize that you've eaten. Just becoming a little bit more in tune with your body. If you have been around for a long time here, guys, you know I talk about stress and sleep, and how important those are. But truly, if you're not sleeping at least about 7 hours, your body's going to have a really hard time detoxing. You can't be a really great 4 or 5 hour sleeper and expect your body to be working optimally. It's just not going to. And I don't care if you tell me that you feel fine doing that. All right. All you stress, type A overachievers, I get it, because I get this all the time from clients. It's I'm a great 4 or 5 hour sleeper. I can survive off that. That's really all I need. I feel fine. You don't. That's your stress response. That's your body, pretty much surviving and, acting in survival mode. And it's just been so normal for so long for your body, so it feels safe, and that feels normal, but it's not. But learning how to do some, nighttime routines and, morning routines. I have other videos on these. But just creating a little bit more balance in your body, a little less stress on your body is going to naturally help that detoxification system. Okay. On a little bit more of a higher level overview, or just, a level deeper, actually, it would be really looking into the toxins in your environment. And this is probably something I could do a whole nother conversation on, but limiting toxins is huge. We are inundated as a society with environmental toxins and toxins from our beauty products and our cleaning products, and our food. So limiting this is going to make a huge impact on the way your body responds and the way your body detoxes naturally. This can be very overwhelming for people, because it's oh my gosh, there's 50,000 things I need to change. I will say one of the first things is to start with just eating a little bit more organic. You can go to the EWG's website and find out what's called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. This will tell you the food to ideally eat that's organic, or eat that should be organic, I should say, because it has the highest amount of pesticides in it. So definitely just making sure that you, are eating a little bit more organic. It doesn't have to be 100%, but that can limit a lot of pesticides, and just overall just exposure that you get through your food. Beauty products is a big one. If you're putting on 6 products a day on your face and they are all filled with hormone disruptors and chemicals, this does play an impact on your hormones, on your gut health, on your detox pathways, whether you believe it or not. Particularly your skin is your biggest organ, right? So that is your body's absorbing all of that. So looking at that, looking at the products that you clean with, that you wash dishes with, dishwasher, laundry, things like that. I'm not saying start all this at one time. Again, this isn't a talk about that, but I have other conversations. But definitely looking at that and eliminating it as much as possible. Another small switch is like plastic, switching out of plastic, and having glass bottles, glass Tupperware, even stainless steel is better than plastic, even if it says it's BPA free. I talked a little bit about gut health, but I will say I just forgot a little bit on gut health. I talked about psyllium husk. You can add in probiotic rich foods, and this is really healthy for the gut microbiome. Things like yogurt, watch the sugar in the yogurt, guys. Yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, all have really high doses of natural probiotics. You can supplement. Like, I get a question all the time about like what supplements I should take, and certain things like NAC is really great for detoxification. Milk thistle, burdock root, ginger, all those are really powerful for detox. But one, I don't want to take all this stuff long term. Two, if your detox pathways are not open and you are not doing all of this other work, your body's gonna recirculate these toxins and you're gonna feel worse, okay? And it happens all the time. And it's because your body cannot excrete those excess toxins and they recirculate. So if you are not pooping regularly, if you're not hydrating, if you are not, taking care of your body, your mind, your soul, like, it's not gonna work, okay? So just my 2 cents there. I could go on a rant about this. But kind of lastly is really just, if you feel you have been doing all of these things and really genuinely doing all these things and giving it a really good effort, because a lot of times I hear people say, oh, I've done all those things. And it's, have you been consistent? Have you done them for at least 80% of the time? Have you done it for at least a few weeks, right? You can't expect to do, a lot of times when you hear the word detox, it's quick fix for a lot of people. No, have you been doing this for weeks at a time, months? If you haven't seen progress with maybe your energy levels, your weight loss, your hormones, things like that, then seeking professional guidance is going to be really helpful. And that is what we work on with a lot of our clients at the Wellness Paradigm. And we do have more advanced protocols for, certain clients with detoxification. Some of them we put through a little bit more of an advanced protocol called Flush. Some of them we do a little bit more simple of a detox, and some of them we don't work on any additional detox. We work on a lot of the basics, like I mentioned above. So if it's something you need additional help with, please let me know.